Hello, welcome, and it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? So today I was sitting in my time with the Lord, and as I was sitting in the presence of the Lord, and He directed me to Esther chapter 7. And as I was reading in Esther chapter 7, I saw so much. I saw how Haman, who was the enemy of the Jews, was a spirit, was a person, but that's also a spiritual thing. This spirit had entered into this man because somebody wouldn't bow to him. So he had evil in his heart from the beginning. Like they used to say, I had a friend that used to say from the get go. From the beginning, Haman must have had an evil heart, right? Because he got upset because Mordecai wouldn't bow to him. Look back and read in Esther, starting around, read the whole book of Esther is great. And to see God move and strategically place people in position that he wanted in position. You can look back from the beginning to where Queen Vashti was, dethroned, and then Esther was throned. The process she went through for preparing for the king, not knowing that she was also being prepared for as a vehicle that God would use, as one the Lord would use to save his chosen people. As you look through the passages and read, and you get around verse 5, chapter 5, you'll see what I'm talking about, where Mordecai, Haman is elevated. The king elevates Haman, gives him this ring, tells him all these things that, he has. And then because Mordecai discerned properly what was in Haman, he wouldn't bow to him. This infuriated Haman. Haman allowed evil to come into his heart. And Haman he goes home and talks about all the elevation that's taking place, all the promotion that's taking place with his family. And then he talks about what happened with Mordecai. None of that matters, but what his heart was set on, because he had allowed evil to enter into his heart. And his wife said, build this thing high, 70 feet high, 75 feet high, this gallows to hang Mordecai on. He goes along with it. Then, the next chapter, you'll begin to see God dealing with the king. The king couldn't sleep. God placed in the king's heart Mordecai on the king's heart. And the Lord begins to move and begins to reverse things in the spirit first, because he was dealing with this young man while he was sleeping. He wakes up, says, go get Haman, go get Haman. Then he asks Haman, what would you do to the man, or for the man that has done all these things to save me, the king? I'm paraphrasing. He says, I would do this, get a horse, put a robe on him, I would do all these things. And he said, so be it. That's what I'm getting ready to do for Mordecai. Haman freaks out, goes home, covers his head, upset, tells his wife, the one that told him to do this thing. And then she turns and says, oh, well, if the king is against you, if Mordecai is a Jew, then you're done for, pretty much. When I tell you that God will take the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, and that the Lord fights our battles, I'm telling you, there's so much more, because Esther was so strategic in this. Esther played her position well. You'll see also the dinner that she prepared on the first day. It said, King, would you do this for me? I come to you. He said, I give you half the kingdom. What would you have? What would you want? And she says, let me prepare dinner for you and Haman. Then the next day comes, what would you have me do for you, Esther? I tell you, I'll give you half the kingdom. And she says, there's somebody that's trying to annihilate my people. If they had sold us for bondwomen and bond servants, I would not have said a word. But they're trying to annihilate our race. Do you hear me in this? A spirit, that demonic spirit called Haman, it's rampant now. It's right now prevalent. But let me tell you, people of God, we have a Savior that's working in the midst of us. Be not weary, intercessors, gatekeepers, shamars, watchmen, prophets, preachers, teachers, evangelists, people of God, women and men of God, sons and daughters of God. There is a ram in the bush. There is a lily in the valley, bright as the morning star. And his name is Jesus. And he's working all things together for your good.